is Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Amanda Serrano. Amanda, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing? I'm
very good, thank you. Come off a really good win recently, Daniela Bermudez. I'm not sure how much people out there will know about her, but for a lot of people, she was in the female pound-for-pound top 10, won majority of her title fights at Super Bantam, stepped up to challenge you, and you got the job done in impressive fashion. What are your own reflections on the fight?
I thought it was a great fight. We knew Daniela was a very durable fighter. She's, she knows how to. She usually loses the first couple of rounds and then wins big the last couple of rounds. So my corner Jordan, he knew that. So we tried to see how tough she was the first couple of rounds, and we saw that she was still durable. So he said, just box her and. Hard punches at the end of the punches, and we took her out in the ninth round. But she was a tough girl.
You're currently settling at 126 pounds, but you've won so many world titles at different weights. What gives you that unique ability to be able to go up and down like you do and still retain your power and your speed?
Well, it's power. I was blessed enough to have been born with power, so I was able to take it in every division. And just dedication and hard work and good diets allow me to go up and down. So, and a great team.
What division do you prefer? Where do you feel most comfortable?
Oh, featherweight. That's 126. The way that I'm champion, and that's why I said in the very beginning I wanted to come back to the way I feel real comfortable at. So easy for me to make this weight, and I feel really strong. And this is where I want to become undisputed champion at.
Do you feel at the very peak of your powers now? So if you compared yourself in 2021 to say 5 years ago?
Yes, I definitely, now I'm 32 years old, and I think it's all coming full circle. Everyone says this is your prime, and I can feel it. Like in the beginning, I had very little amateur fights, so I was learning as a professional, as going along in the sport. So now I'm starting to understand everything, understand my skill set, understanding my power, and having a great team to show me how to put it all together. But I feel like this is the best I felt.
I mentioned pound for pound kind of rankings earlier. How much, if at all, do you think about that and where you sit in that kind of pound for pound ranking?
I really don't think about it much. I mean, because everyone has their own opinions. So, I mean, I feel I want to be the best Amanda Serrano. I want to be the best for me and my team. And whoever wants to put me 1, 2, it doesn't matter really.
And you said you want to become undisputed at 126 pounds. What are the obviously 2 other champions in terms of the major belts? How close are you to nailing one of those guys down for your next fight or later this year?
I don't know. I really don't know how close. I mean, I'm hoping that they want to fight. I know Jelena has a fight tomorrow. I wish nothing but the best for both those girls to, come out safe in the fight. And hopefully the winner of that fight will take the fight with me if they want to become undisputed champion. And Sarah Mafu, the IBF champion. I don't know. I don't deal with that. I just fight my corner Jordan and my Lou DeBella. They deal with that. I just concentrate on fighting, training.
What do you think might be the big kind of marquee fights out there for you, either at 126 or if you did have to change division again? Who do you think are the fights that will get the fans really excited?
Yeah, I think 126, definitely Jelena, because, she's been in the sport longer than I have. And, she has great knockout power like I do. So, and then that's at 126. And of course, moving in another division, Katie Taylor. I think that is the fight that everybody wants to see. I definitely want to see that fight. And if everything goes well with negotiations, then I think that fight would definitely happen. Hopefully 2022.
Let's talk about Katie in a moment, but I wanted to ask you as well, you talked about how you've been blessed with knockout power. Why do you think we don't see more kind of punchers in the female side of the sport?
Because you're either born with it or you're not. There's a little bit of exercises you can do to help your power, but if you have it, it's just, I think a lot of women don't have it, but I don't know.
You find when you're in there with opponents, you sense that they're quite surprised by the power, like early on the first time they get tagged clean. They're probably not used to that type of power in their previous fights.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they say they spar with men in the gym. Yeah, I understand that. It's totally different when you're in there with no headgear, 8-ounce gloves in front of a girl that wants to win and wants to beat you up. So that's why I really don't spar with girls. I don't want them to feel the power in the sparring session, and then if they're offered the fight, they'll say, "Oh no, I don't want to fight her," or they know the power, so they embrace it and they're able to survive. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
You talked about Katie Taylor a few minutes ago. She's got a fight coming up on the 1st of May against Natasha Jonas, former amateur rival of hers. What do you make of that fight? I know Jonas put in a good account of herself against Terry Harper last year.
I mean, I still think Katie is she's a very skilled fighter. She's a very skilled boxer. I think she knows her way around the ring, and I think she would definitely come off with the victory in this fight.
I want to ask you, obviously, we came very close to seeing you against Katie in fight camp, and it fell through. Just once and for all, for people out there, from your point of view, why did it not happen?
Negotiations went bad. I mean, COVID came and then the fight was canceled, and I didn't have no idea. I read it on Twitter. I had no one had the decency to actually give me a phone call and tell me that the fight was off and it was postponed, and then money fell through, and it was just a whole big mess. So and they came back with a lower offer, and we felt like we deserved a certain amount of money, and they were trying to come back with a worse offer than they originally gave us. So we would say, you know what, once the fans go and come back into the arenas, then we can talk about it. And I mean, now I'm just being able to go out there and fight, put on great performances, and show the world that fight definitely will be one of the best female fights. And as long as I keep winning big, Katie Taylor keeps winning big, doing great stuff for the sport of women's boxing, that fight is definitely going to happen. Everybody's going to continue to ask that question with me and Katie Taylor. So I think what happened, and I think Eddie Hearn is starting to look at me in a different value. So.
Do you get concerned at all when you watch Katie Taylor's fights, or you hear she's agreed another fight that she might lose in the meantime? It takes some of the value off a fight between yourself and
No, it is what it is. I mean, she needs to just perform to her best abilities and go out. Yeah, same thing with me. I mean, this fight was a chance I took, fighting a rank number one, a pound for pound. So it could have went either way for me and Daniela. So it's just it can either go with Jelena as well. Like if I fight Jelena, then it can go either way. So we just don't know. We just have to continue to do the best that we can in each fight.
I admire your modesty, because you say it could go either way, but you haven't lost a fight since 2012, and that's the only fight you've lost as a pro.
Yes. But because I really work hard. I train hard, and I want to continue to be the best person that I can be the best fighter that I can be. So I try to take all the distractions away and just train.
I wanted to ask you about that fight. It's obviously the only loss on your record against Frieda Walberg, like I say, 9 years ago now. How much of a learning experience was that? Because considering what you've done since, it certainly seems to have been beneficial in the long term.
Yeah, no, it was a hometown decision. So I learned to try to not to leave it to the judges. And I think after that fight, I did that with like 6-7 fights. I went on a knockout streak. I said, I'm not leaving it to the judges. And if it does go to the judges, you have to win convincingly. So I said, yeah, you learn a lot, and I didn't want, I'm not undefeated, so it is what it is. I have a record on all across the board. So,
were you disappointed not to get a rematch?
Not really. I mean, after her fight right after mine, she got hurt, and she couldn't fight anymore. So, I just hope that she was well.
Tell us, before we let you go, a little bit about your life outside of the ring. I'm sure you're training 2-3 times a day, but when you do get some free time, what sort of stuff do you get up to?
I shop, but now I shop. We like to go to the mall. I go to the mall a lot. Before the pandemic, we used to go to the movies like 2-3 times a week. That was our thing, going to the movies, to the mall, restaurants, eating, and yeah, I have a pretty boring life. Yeah.
Any pets?
Not really. I do have a pigeon.
You have a pet pigeon?
Yes, I have a pet pigeon. Yes.
Is that inspired by Mike Tyson?
I actually have a loft. Me and Jordan, we have a loft. This is actually my pigeon right here.
What's its name?
We have Foofy.
Foofy, right?
No, that we actually have a loft of about like 60 pigeons that we fly, and this one in particular was born here, and he was born sick. So I took him in and I put him back to life, and now he's just been my pet. Yes.
That's very cute. No, really nice. All right, just before we let you go, I'm sure most people know this already, but just in case they don't, how can the fans out there find you on social media? What are your different handles?
Yes, on Twitter and Instagram, it's Serrano Sisters, and on Facebook is Cindy and Amanda Serrano. And yeah, you can follow us there. Great
stuff. Well, I really, really appreciate your time, and we hope to see you back out soon.
Yes, thank you. And this was an exclusive. No one knows that I have pigeons. So you got it first.
The pigeon actually appeared. The pigeon starred in the interview, which is even better.
Yes.
Well, thanks very much. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to Jordan. And goodbye, of course, to Foofy.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
And you take care.